Your warm-up's on the board. Here's your essential question for what we're doing today, okay? So I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to do your warm-up. I'm going to come around and check your homework from last night, your GCF factory worksheet.
You don't know your name or something? Huh? You don't know your name? I would call your name like all the time.
What were you saying?
You got hearing problems?
That's not my name.
Okay, guys. Let's go over the warm-up, shall we?
Oh.
Nobody used the algebra tiles. I forgot to point out to you that they're up here. I don't want you to get up right now, but after the warm-up we're going to Jamal. What did you get for number 1?
What I got for number 1?
Greatest common factor. What is it? What's the greatest common factor, Mohammed?
6.
6. So when we pull the GCF, what do we get? What is 6x squared divided by 6? X squared. How about negative 12x divided by 6? Minus 2x. What about plus 30 divided by 6? Plus 5. Okay. Factor by grouping. Are you guys ready? What did you pull out of these two terms? X. X plus 2 is on the inside of the parentheses. How about the second set of terms?
3.
Plus 3. Times what?
X.
Plus 2. What is in common with these two terms? X plus 2 is common in both of them, right? So now we write x plus 2 in parentheses. Can you see it, Morgan? Times x plus 3. Where did I get x plus 3, Deja? Do you know? Yep. Tajay says it's from the outside numbers, and she's correct. Okay. I wanted you guys to do these with the algebra tiles. Do you remember? They're on the table next to Robert. I forgot to remind you when you came in.
Can I pass them out?
I would love that. Thanks. Just take one little baggie. Now, everybody's not going to get a set. You're going to pair up. So these guys are a pair, 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 pair. Anthony and Jamonica, Axel and Tajay. Here's a pair, here's a pair, here's a pair, here's a pair. Isaiah and Marco are a pair. Darquisha and Sylvan, Time and Josh, Sergio and Maritza, and Renee and Deja. Robert, you get to pick what group you want to work with. So each pair only needs one set. Did anybody do the warm-up problems without the algebra tiles? Did you guys already simplify those? Did you add and multiply? You did, Mohammed? Who else? One here, you got it?
I did.
Deja did.
Hey. I said you.
Me. Me. Hold on.
Sergio, did you get an answer to x plus 3 times x plus 4? Okay, remember when we used the algebra tiles to do multiplication? And some of you guys didn't like the algebra tiles?
No.
No, you don't remember it, or no, you didn't like them?
I don't know.
Okay. We're using them today to do factoring. Okay, here's our agenda right here, okay? Your homework's right here. We're going to do a ticket out the door today after this activity, okay? First, we're going to work together, and I'm going to show you guys how to model these to factor. Okay? Now, what is the opposite of multiplying?
Subtracting.
Dividing. When
Oh, no,
that's the opposite of adding. The opposite of multiplying a polynomial is factoring. Okay? So we're going to do the opposite of the multiplication today. We're going to do the factoring. So I'm using a tool that you can get to through Class Zone. If you access your book through Class Zone, guys, see how I'm going to your textbook, the red one? If you go down to, see the little like alien dudes? If you click on that, it's called animations. That's where we find the tool we used when we added. We are in Unit 2. Do you see how I'm choosing Unit 2? Sergio, do you see how I chose Unit 2? Okay. Now we're going to do modeling the factorization of x squared plus bx plus c. Okay? Up here, you guys see up here x squared plus 5x plus 6? X squared plus 5x plus 6. I want you guys to get your algebra tiles out to model x squared plus 5x plus 6.
This fish today or tomorrow?
I want you guys to work along with me, okay? So, first you may want to scoot your desks together with your partner. Robert, what group do you want?
Sylvan and
How many of the blue ones do we need? One. How many greens? 5. Thanks, Tajay. Sergio, you're working up here. How many white little yellow guys? 6, Tajay says. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should have these on your desk with your partner. Please show. You're going to show that with the class. Shut up.
We have managers.
Which sounds stupid. It is stupid because
Shut up.
wow.
Okay. The way you can check if your answer is right, besides asking me or someone that you know that knows how to factor, is just multiply. Okay? You can multiply this and see if you get this answer. That's how you check it. Remember in elementary school when you checked your work? That's the great thing about factoring is you can check it.
Can I do makeup work?
Nobody used the algebra tiles. I forgot to point out to you that they're up here. I don't want you to get up right now, but after the warm-up we're going to Jamal. What did you get for number 1? Greatest common factor. What is it? What's the greatest common factor, Mohammed? 6. So when we pull the GCF, what do we get? What is 6x squared divided by 6? X squared. How about negative 12x divided by 6? Minus 2x. What about plus 30 divided by 6? Plus 5. Okay. Factor by grouping. Are you guys ready? What did you pull out of these two terms? X. X plus 2 is on the inside of the parentheses. How about the second set of terms? plus 3 times what?
X.
Plus 2. What is in common with these two terms? X plus 2 is common in both of them, right? So now we write x plus 2 in parentheses. Can you see it, Werner? Times x plus 3. Where did I get x plus 3, Deja? Do you know? Yep. Tajay says it's from the outside numbers, and she's correct. Okay. I wanted you guys to do these with the algebra tiles. Do you remember? They're on the table next to Robert. I forgot to remind you when you came in.
Can I pass them out?
I would love that. Thanks. Just take one little baggie. Now, everybody's not going to get a set. You're going to pair up. So these guys are a pair, 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 pair. Anthony and Jamonica, Axel and Tajay. Here's a pair, here's a pair, here's a pair, here's a pair. Isaiah and Marco are a pair. Darquisha and Sylvan, Time and Josh, Sergio and Maritza, and Renee and Deja. Robert, you get to pick what group you want to work with. So each pair only needs one set. Did anybody do the warm-up problems without the algebra tiles? Did you guys already simplify those? Did you add and multiply? You did, Mohammed? Who else? One here, you got it? I did. Deja did.
Hey, I said you.
Me. Me. Hold on.
Sergio, did you get an answer to x plus 3 times x plus 4? You guys ready? So you have these out, right? One big blue one, which is x squared, 5 long green ones, which represent x.
I do. I got no more.
Did you do it? It's a rectangle, okay? So what is the length of this side? Good. And what about this guy? X plus a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. Okay, guys, I need your attention up here. We're going to go over this worksheet now, okay? Okay. I'm going to pull it up, and then we're going to talk about, Robert's going to tell us the way he knows how to factor.
I know how to factor too.
Okay, Robert. I need everybody to give Robert attention, Renee Feliciano.
Alright. So what you gotta do, I learned how you make an X, and then you gotta find two numbers, or you put the X right here, the 8X. So,
The 8 goes in the bottom, guys.
so you gotta figure
And what
out
goes in the top, Robert?
the 7. What's that?
7. That's called C.
Alright, C.
Does anybody remember what the standard form of a quadratic function is?
A plus B plus C.
X squared plus bx plus c.
So that's B, that's C. So C goes on the top, B goes on the bottom. Really, for real? That's what's up. And then you gotta figure out what multiplies to get 7, and then what adds up to get 8. So 1, 7. Times it, you get 7, you add it, you get 8. So x plus 1, x plus 7. There you go.
Did everybody hear Robert?
Yes.
He did a great job of explaining that. Who can also come up here and explain it?
Alright, that's what I thought.
Because you guys are going to do a ticket out the door on this factoring. So let's try it with number 2. Who prefers to do this over the algebra tiles? Honest opinion.
Me.
Who likes the algebra tiles? Okay. This is what you're going to write on the back of your paper, the big X method. This is another method of factoring. You just use the algebra tiles to factor. Okay, remember factoring's the opposite of multiplication? Okay. So what goes in the big X is A times C, and down here is B. What are all these letters? Jamal, do you know what A, B, and C are? Because Robert very eloquently just told the class.
What A, B, and C are?
They're the coefficients.
Yeah, the coefficient.
The standard form of your quadratic, of your polynomial, is ax squared plus bx plus c. You know when we put our polynomials in standard form, you have the highest exponent first. A, B, and C are the coefficients in front of those variables. Okay? So Robert told us he put 7 up here. Do you know why he put 7 up here?
No.
Okay. What's A for this, for number 1? What's A equal to? Remember, it's the coefficient. It's like yo. 1. Okay? So it's 1 times C, which is 7. What's 1 times 7? Just 7. So Robert did that in his head, and he just put 7. Am I right, Robert? You just did it in your head. Okay. So he put 7 up here. Down here is where B goes. In this expression, B is equal to 8, Marco. Okay? So then what Robert said is, these two numbers here, when multiplied together, give you this, and when added together, give you this. Do you remember on your test, if you took it already, the extra credit question you had? Like 95% of you guys got that right. And what you were doing was the X method. We just didn't tell you that. Okay? So you guys will probably have to, you like this method, Robert?
Yeah.
If you've learned this method before, do you like this method of factoring? Yeah. Okay. We didn't learn this when I was a student. We just guessed and checked, which could take a long time. Okay. So let's do number 2 using this big X method. Number 2. What is A equal to? 1. What is C equal to? 6. This is times right here. What is our B equal to, Noemi? 5. What are the factors of 6? I'm just going to erase this and put a 6 in. What are the factors of 6? 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Does 1 and 6 add up to be 5?
Yes.
No. It adds up to be 7. But 3 and 2. Yes? When we multiply 3 times 2, do we get 6? When we add 3 and 2, we get 5. So the factorization of number 2 of x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to x plus 3 times x plus 2. You get this? Jesus, does this make sense?
Can I do the next one?
Yeah. You know what? I want to scroll down. I want to give you guys a couple minutes to finish your paper using the big X form. But first, I'm going to do the one with the minus in it. Do you want me to do 6 or 7? Which one? 7. If you want 6, raise your hand.
7.
Okay. I got one call for 7.
I said 7.
Okay, and sorry, Tajay. All right. Here's our equation for number 7. K squared minus 5k plus 6. This is similar to number 1, only we have a negative, right?
Yes.
All righty. So, what is A? What's C? What's 1 times 6? 6. What is our B equal to? Negative 5. Okay. So what are the factors of 6? 3 and 2 and 1 and 6.
So it's 1 and 6.
Okay, why would we use 1 and 6?
Because if they subtract
Okay, but we're adding these two because they're both positive. I could make them both negative.
That won't work though.
no,
One of them has to be negative. Okay, so how about we make 1 a negative? Don't write this down yet. What is negative 1 times 6? Is that a negative 6? So 1 and 6 aren't going to work. Let's try 3 and 2.
Oh,
3
both negative.
times 2 is 6, yes?
Yeah.
3 plus 2 is positive 5, though.
Both negative.
What's negative 3 times negative 2?
Positive 6.
Positive 6. What's negative 3 plus negative 2? Negative 5. Two really important things you need to remember on this, guys. You can always check your work to see if you get what you started with, okay? All you have to do is use the distributive property, the box method or FOIL, to multiply these two binomials to check. The other thing is, there is only one perfect answer. There's not multiple different answers, okay? So I want you guys to take, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to finish that up. And then I'm going to give you a ticket out the door. You can work together on this. No, it's going to go in your notes section. But on the ticket out the door, you can't work together. I'm going to collect the algebra tiles while you guys are working on that. No, I want you guys to finish the worksheet. You already did it?